Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another episode of The Awakenings. My name is Zaben, and I am here to help you align yourself with the best version of you in the easiest and simplest of forms. So today I'm going to just discuss with you something that excites me all the time, and it excited me for years, and I never really recognized that this is something I do naturally. Like it was something that I just could see and feel and grab onto naturally for others more than for myself, because I used to be a codependent and a people pleaser to the degree of where everyone else mattered more than myself, right? So I could tap into and help everyone else, and it was a little hard to do that for me. Now, of course, I've worked on myself. I've come to terms with, hey, I gotta download information for myself and evolve and taste and touch it so that I can actually give it in a more profound fashion to my clients, friends, and whoever requests this of me. Now, the special talent that I seem to have is being able to see the positives within the negatives. They just pop out for me. And I see them very clearly. Now, one of the things I actually want to discuss today is the power of procrastination. So we all know that, yes, we live and we think, and everything has to do with, oh yeah, I'm such a procrastinator. We were brought up to believe that procrastination is something terrible, and we need to plan ahead, and we need to work, like if we have a deadline in a month, that whole entire month is spent on finishing off the project, meeting the deadline, making sure we get everything done before. So basically, we've lived in shame of being procrastinators, right? Even the word, like I remember very clearly, is the minute I would hear that I am procrastinating, I would be ashamed of myself. Like there's something wrong with me. Why do I wait for the last minute? What is wrong with me? Why can't I be like everybody else? Right? And then I realized there are so many procrastinators out there. So I am like a lot of everybody else out there. And yet everybody else out there who is procrastinating is also shaming themselves and feeling guilty over who they are, that they are procrastinators. And so what I understood is we procrastinators are constantly fighting against ourselves, right? So when I start to procrastinate, what happens is I start arguing with myself, really shaming me for being such a procrastinator. Now let me tell you the beauty of procrastinating, and I'm sure you understand the agony of fighting procrastination, the agony of trying to finish something 3 weeks ahead of time when you know that it doesn't turn out half as good as when you do actually procrastinate. Now I'll find a better word for it, because procrastination is a word that is attached to a lot of negative connotations. So every time I say procrastination, I'm sure you all flinch, like, oh, no, I don't like it. So there's another terminology for it. For now, let me just explain the beauty of procrastination. So the beauty of procrastination, the positives within what society perceives as a negative, is this. Procrastinators are very intuitive beings, right? Procrastinators enjoy the pressure, right? The pressure of time, the pressure of producing. Why? Why is it always last minute? Why is it always a day before, the night? I remember studying the night before exams to get stuff done. I remember finishing projects like a day or two before, and they would be projects that needed, according to the world, needed 3 weeks ahead of time, and yet I would get it all done within the span of 2 to 3 days, and it would be complete. And the thing is, they're highly intuitive beings. We are highly intuitive. Therefore, anytime before that, we still don't have the information. We haven't gotten the incentive or the inspiration to get it done. So it becomes this lingering negative conversation, right? It's like this lingering, like all the time. It's like a weight on your back, like, oh my God, I still haven't gotten it done. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? And now the 3 weeks or the month ahead of the scheduled time, there's nothing but guilt and shame throughout it, right? And not in the mood to do it, and not in the mood to do it, and oh my God, and hating it. So now what happens is you end up hating to do that thing more and more, because there's a lot of self-blame. There's a lot of discomfort within ourselves, a lot of discomfort that happens. So it's like a war. And that war is what we don't want, right? But procrastinators are really good at last minute. When a procrastinator tries to do anything prior, follow the rules of society, right, which don't work, the project doesn't turn out as well. Why? Because our brains, our mind is so much in the way. Because we have a lot of time to dissect and to relook and to redo, and we don't trust what our heart and our gut is letting us know, right? We receive information, like all the information we've gathered is in us already. We have that. Plus we get inspired information. So what happens is projects, and they don't turn out half as good because our mental mind comes in and becomes very analytical. Now when we're pressured, when there's pressure of time, when we have to do it, what happens is excitement builds up. We don't mind erasing the world for those few hours or few days. We don't mind it at all. It actually feels fulfilling in the process. And we start finishing off things, and we are less in the mind and more in the heart. And it feels like information just comes, like we know what to tap into, which book to get. We've highlighted some things previously, we remember things and information, and we end up finishing it better than we've ever finished it before. Because procrastinators are really good with intuition and inspiration. So instead of spending 3 weeks, a month, 6 months in stress mode, that the to-do list is not getting done, that project is not getting done, whatever, and they're all like in the future, instead of spending that time stressed and guilt and shaming yourself and having that internal agony and war that's repelling you away from it, start enjoying those 3 weeks, these few months, and trust that when it's time, you're going to know, because the pressure really works for you, because it allows your brain to get out of the way and it becomes inspirational. You'll notice the details are better. You'll notice that things have come out. The to-do list gets done so much faster than when you would have done it 3 weeks ago in fear of not meeting the deadline. And this is what it comes down to. Procrastinators, once you release the fear of not meeting your deadline or not being good enough, or that you're not right, or there's something wrong with you, once you release that, you start to breathe. And you start to accept that I'm a procrastinator, I work best last minute. That's when I'm able to disconnect from the world and get my stuff done. That's when I know what parts of the to-do list need to get done, right? And I will allow myself to enjoy every day until that feeling, the nagging feeling, takes over. The inspiration happens and I follow through, because I always meet my deadlines and I always get things done at the right time. You will also notice that synchronicity happens really well for procrastinators. Everything falls into place. Now, the reason procrastinators get exhausted by doing this is nothing to do with the fact that you've procrastinated at all. It has to do with a very simple equation, is that there's a battle internally that has been building up for 3 weeks of self-shame. What is wrong with me? Why am I like this? I have to change this about myself. And by the time it's done, you're just so exhausted and depleted that even that beautiful time that you're spending intuitively being inspired, you're depleted energetically because you've been so ugly to yourself. You've been trying to belong to society the right way and follow rules that do not apply to you. So from a procrastinator to a procrastinator, love your procrastination. Love the qualities that come with it. And this is how we find the positives within what society calls as the negative. Share with me, how many times did you actually procrastinate, and whatever, you met your deadlines, the projects turned out wonderful, you've done your to-do list, and it was all so easy and smooth. And when have you tried to do things before where everything was crammed and it didn't go as smoothly and you got more stressed because you weren't waiting for your true authentic nature to tap in and tell you it's time? Let me know in your comments. I would love to hear your feedback on this. And procrastinators, love yourself a little bit. You're worthy to be loved. Take care, and I'll see you on the next awakening.